like the pioneer in the practical blaster effect in my LEGO Star Wars films. I prefer this over, well, digital blaster effects because I think it looks good, it can be easy to do, and saves a lot of time in editing. Plus, it's great for people who don't know how to do these digital blaster effects, like me. And from the footage that I've posted on various social medias, a lot of people have asked, how do I do this? Do I use masking to edit out how the blaster bolts are held in midair? What do I do? Well, I'm here to tell you. Let's start with deconstruction, frame by frame. With the footage slowed down, it's easier to see what I do in each frame. Let's start with this stormtrooper on the right. He's about to fire his blaster. First I start off with a cone. I shine a red light on the cone using a flashlight. On the flashlight I place some red bricks over this circular piece that allows the light to shine through and create a very nice red light effect. This can be done with other colours as well. After taking the first picture, I then add a rod from one of the spring-loaded shooters. You can also use lightsaber rods as well, but I prefer to use the spring-shooted ones. Attach that to the end of the cone. Keep shining the red light on the cone as well, but make sure it focuses more on the rod itself. Now we have the blaster bolt travelling away from the blaster. This can be done by simply holding the blaster bolt off screen. You might want to set up a stand or something in order to hold it still and to stop shadows from going over your set, create an inconsistent lighting look. You also want to shine the red light on this last frame as well. Make sure it moves alongside of the blaster bolt to make a realistic lighting movement. Sometimes your blaster bolt needs to travel a greater distance, where holding it off frame would look a bit choppy. In this case, you want to be tricky with how you place your blaster bolt. In this scene, we can see the blaster bolt passing through the stormtrooper's helmet. This trick photography has us blue tacking the blaster bolts to different objects in the scene to make it look like it is flying through the air, but in fact it is actually attached to different things. The impact of the blaster bolt has a similar technique as well. As we can see, it is in reverse, with the blaster bolt coming off screen, then hitting the stormtrooper. It is attached to different Lego bricks that are blue tacked to the stormtrooper's body. These plates allow it to stay firm, and then after that I use orange and light yellow studs to replicate sparks flying off. These objects are also attached around to the scenery, as we can see here, attached to the gun, the stormtrooper's helmet and the floor. These blaster effects work well without a light as well, but something you want to keep in mind when working with light is to keep your automatic focus, exposure and white balance turned off. So that means the camera does not change the lighting every time a different light comes into the scene. The result would be flickering and dramatic changes in lighting, which would not look good in the final product. Another thing to keep in mind is the pathway of the blaster bolt. Using the onion skin on your stop motion software allows you to keep track of the angle that the blaster bolt is travelling at, so it keeps a smooth, consistent look as it travels through the air. If you do not do this, the blaster bolt will look wonky and all over the joint as it flies through the air and would not be convincing at all. Well, that is the end of my tutorial. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you go out and use it in your different Star Wars films or other stop motions. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.